Abandon your post!
So as I was editing the finale to my Warsword series, I was presented with what I thought was this unwinnable siege defense. Originally I thought we might have a chance since we have AoE magic, but it has a large cooldown and we had the time to get maybe 2 AoE spells off before the enemy siege tower would make it to our castle, and then it was pretty much all over from there. The enemy also had casters of their own, and there was a large amount of RNG as to what spells they decided to cast and when. Sometimes they would cast this AoE magic defense spell that would pretty much counter our AoE damage spell. They also had a pretty wide variety of casters. They brought in, I believe it was a gray shaman who casted this ability Pit of Shades, which is basically an agility test, and if you don't have enough agility you fail. The penalty for failing is death. So yeah, there was a bit of RNG, but even on like my best attempt I was able to take out, I want to say 350 units before we got overrun, and that was until I adjusted my strategy into something that you wouldn't think would work. The first thing I did to help out this battle was I hired a patrol, and I think the big one is actually better than the elite patrol, because with the elite patrol you get better units but you only get like 17 of them. With the big patrol you get much more. We got 76 here. There's a little bit of RNG as to how many units you get, I believe. But yeah, we told the patrol to reinforce the garrison, which that only added 76 troops. It wasn't going to change too much. The main thing we did though that turned this siege from what was pretty much an unwinnable battle into what I can only describe as an absolute stomp. By the end of it, we still had a majority of our gunmen up and we didn't even end up losing that many units. Our allies did end up losing a lot of units, but a lot of units they did lose were units that I summoned. So first things first, we cast our AoE damage spell Cloud of Corruption before the enemy can cast any defensive spells, and I didn't do a great job of showing it here, but we ended up killing 68 to start out. The main part of the strategy is we pulled all of our range units back into this courtyard, and though the Skaven Jezeel units we're using are some of the best in the game, and we have quite a few of them, I think in total we had like 70 here, really any range units could work fine, and there's some that would work actually a lot better here. Jezeel specialize in their long range, and like you don't need long range riflemen here. The enemy flows in like piggies to the slaughter, and our units are free to snipe at them from our courtyard. I also casted a Wither on them, which makes them take more damage. I don't know how much, as the spell does not say. The enemy funnels into this tower, which is being gunked up by all of our infantry. I told them all to bunch up and stuck them in here, and they wouldn't hold forever, but they did hold for quite a while. The enemy does break through our infantry and they make it into our courtyard, but not only does my ability Vermintide come back up, that allows me to summon usually somewhere between 10 to 20 rats to use as a tank line. As these guys start funneling into the courtyard, a lot of our range units that I think were getting blocked by line of sights, especially the ones on the left here, now do have line of sight, and they just unload on these guys. After losing all of our infantry and a few range units, we eventually get reinforcements, and I send pretty much any units that aren't our Skaven gunmen, including the units I've been summoning, over to the left here, and the idea is they won't block our range units line of fire. This ends up working out really well, and it actually might have been better here to put our infantry in this position from the start. I'll have to try this strategy out in a future battle, and there's some other things I could have done differently, like I could have put our Skaven gunmen into a better formation. It's just awkward because most of our gunmen are Jezzails, and though I did put Jezzails in their own group, since they are all in the same group, I just have to pretty much put them in like this line formation. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. By this time we had killed almost 600 beastmen, and was kind of just rinse and repeat at this point until they were out of reinforcements. As for the aftermath of this whole siege, or for more context on like how we got here, you're just going to have to wait for the finale video. It's going to be on a more epic scale than any of my other Warsword videos I've done thus far, and it may turn into a more of a movie type thing, so yeah, no promises on when that's going to be out, but hopefully soon. And with that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.